Welcome to Think Positive for Life, Episode 7. I'm Peter, and I'll be teaching you how to change negative thought patterns into positive ones. 20 years ago, I challenged myself to think positive for life, and the results have been nothing less than amazing. In the last episode, I talked some about forgiveness and that we can learn something from anything. Today, I'll be talking about how negative situations can actually be used to get you back on track to thinking positive. I'll tell you a bit about how my thought process changed over the years. I would initially beat myself up or judge myself negatively for making a mistake or having a strange thought cross my mind or anything like that. When something like that happened, I would say, what's wrong with me? That was almost a knee-jerk reaction. I would say, what's wrong with me when that happens? And after a while, I changed it to a more neutral question. Why do I feel this way? It's better, I think, to do that than having this negative thing happen and feeling bad about it and then heaping this negative judgment on yourself. Instead of saying, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? And then more recently, I stopped kind of saying anything like that. I just went with the witness that I talk about in a previous episode, and it's like I'm watching my own drama, kind of. I'm like, oh, how interesting. That's interesting, the thing I just did. Or one of the things I can use to bump myself out of a negative mindset, I can look at it and say, whoops, I'm thinking negative again. A little bit of humor helps. So I'm talking about how you can use the negative to actually trigger a return to a positive thinking. You can actually use the negative to get yourself back on track. And the way this works is, and it'll be different for all of you, the time that it will take and how long it takes to really work this. But the mechanics of it are, when you see yourself in a negative mindset or you've gone through a negative situation or something like that, you recognize it, and maybe you have a bit of experience for how long you'll be in that negative situation. And then all you have to do is remember that you've felt good in the past and you'll likely feel good in the future. So when you detect that you're no longer feeling just so rotten as you might, and there's a little bit of a chance that you can start working your way around to feeling positive, go ahead and do that. And just sooner rather than later, when you're able to do so. I'm going to caution you, don't try to do it too quickly, because if you do that, it can be counterproductive. You'll try too hard, and then you could get into a worse negative situation than if you hadn't done that and just waited to feel better on your own. But it can be a technique to ensure that you don't stay in a negative state any longer than you need to, is kind of the message with that. And I'm going to give you another affirmation here that helps me deal with things when something unexpected happens. It goes like this: stuff happens, deal with it, grow as a being, repeat. Stuff happens, deal with it, grow as a being, repeat. 20 years ago, I challenged myself to think positive for life, and for me, the results have been amazing. I'm no longer content to just grow as a being, and I want to add value to society. So now I'm challenging you to think positive for life. Thank you for listening.